ESP, and we will explain you about the key nation of ESP. Before the explanation, let me introduce my group. And the first reader there is Arif Shafi, and the second Nur Selinda. The third there is me, Michael Afaki Nasution, and the fourth there is Suci Permatasari, and the fifth there is Dio Rizky Ananda.
Okay, I'm Arif Shafi. I will explain to you what the definition of ESP. They are the issue of English for specific purpose. The first is distinction between the absolute and variable characteristic. The first is ESP meets the specific needs of its learners. B. ESP use methodologies and learning activities that are in accordance with the field of science that is the goal. And the characteristic of variables is A. ESP is related to our designed it for a special purpose, and in certain learning institutions, ESP can use a different methodology from general English. And the next types of ESP, English for academic purpose or EAP, is such as medicine, engineering, theology, etc. And English for optional purpose or EOP, such as English for secretaries, technician, etc. And the characteristic of ESP course, the first is absolute characteristic. ESP is defined to meet specific needs of the learner, and variable characteristic, ESP is related to or designed for special purpose. Okay, that's all from me. I will give it back to moderator.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nur Selinda Purbangun, and I will explain about the characteristic of ESP. Okay, according to Carter, the characteristic of ESP, there is three characteristics. Number one, that is authentic material. Study material must be authentic. That means the use of authentic material is expected to bring the learners into direct contact with the reality, so that the student will interest during the learning process. Jadi di sini maksudnya adalah studi pembelajaran itu harus otentik. Kenapa? Karena agar dapat membawa peserta didik langsung bersentuhan dengan dunia kenyataan. Jadi materi otentik itu dapat berupa newspaper, TV program, song, movie, magazine, and etc. Okay, number two, that is a purpose-related orientation. Orientation lesson must be according to the need of the learners. Orientasi pembelajaran itu harus sesuai dengan yang dibutuhkan oleh peserta didik. For example, like this, English for business courses have involved students in the design of the unique business future. Jadi contohnya, jika kita ambil contoh dari bisnis untuk pembelajaran Inggris untuk bisnis, jadi peserta didik itu diharapkan atau diajarkan bagaimana cara membuat pamflet yang unik, bagaimana cara tawar-menawar yang baik, dan lain sebagainya. Dan jika kita ambil contoh seperti kita, misalnya kita English for academic purpose, jadi kita belajar bagaimana cara membuat kurikulum yang baik, bagaimana cara membuat LPP yang baik, dan bagaimana cara mengajar yang baik. And the last, self-direction, learners must have degree of freedom to decide when, and how they will study. Jadi di sini maksudnya adalah belajar itu harus memiliki tingkat kebebasan untuk memutuskan apa, kapan, dan bagaimana mereka akan belajar. Karena potensi-potensi yang dimiliki individu itu berbeda. Dengan begitu, tujuan-tujuan pembelajaran mereka juga berbeda. Terima kasih. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Okay, thank you to the second reader. That is the next let me explain about the distinction between absolute and variable. Okay, so the Stephens in Gatehouse 2001 defines ESP by identifying its absolute characteristic and variable, and distinguishes between four absolute and variable characteristic, and then he make it to the two part about the absolute characteristic and variable characteristic. Oke, jadi Stephen atau Gatehouse ini pada tahun 2001 mendefinisikan ESP dengan mengidentifikasikan karakter absolut dan variabelnya, dan dibedakan menjadi 4 karakteristik absolut dan juga variabel. Tapi dia merangkumnya lagi menjadi 2, jadi untuk 2 di karakter absolut dan 2 di karakter variabel. And then about absolute characteristic. ESP consists of teaching English, which is designed to meet the special needs of the learner and is language centered according to scientific, lexical, discourse, semantic, extension, activities. Jadi karakteristik mutlak tadi definisinya itu menurut si Stephen ini ESP ini terdiri dari pengajaran bahasa Inggris yang dirancang untuk memenuhi kebutuhan khusus pelajar dan berfokus atau berpusat pada bahasa yang sesuai dengan aktivitas yang dinamakan dengan sintaktis, leksis, wacana, semantik, dan lain-lain. And then variable characteristic ESP may be designed differently to meet certain needs. What ESP mean here is ESP is intended for students and is usually used in higher education with methodology that is from English in general. Oke, jadi karakteristik variabel tadi Stephen ini mendefinisikan ESP ini mungkin dirancang untuk memenuhi kebutuhan tertentu. Maksudnya itu ialah ESP ditujukan untuk mahasiswa dan kalangan atas dan biasanya digunakan di perguruan tinggi dengan metodologi yang berbeda dari bahasa Inggris yang digunakan pada dunia atau di tingkat pelajar. Okay, thank you. It is all my explanation about the distinction between variable and absolute. And then I'll give it back to you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Suci Permatasari and I will explain about the types of ESP. In general, ESP can be divided into two. The first one is English for academic purpose, or commonly known as academic English. The aim of the English academic purpose is to use language appropriately for study. Jadi, tujuan dari English for academic purpose ini adalah untuk menggunakan bahasa yang sesuai untuk belajar. The example of EAP is English for thesis writing. And the second one is English for occupational purpose. English for academic purpose designed for someone who wants to really forget word. The aim of EOP is to improve English to meet learner occupational challenges. The example of EOP is English for lawyer, English for agriculture, and etc. That's about my explanation. Thank you.
Special English and specialist aim are two entirely different issues. Menurut Parent pada tahun 1974, who note that the confused areas of attached to nation. Jadi selanjutnya menurut Nicky and Mountford pada tahun 1978, mereka berpendapat the only practical way in which we can understand the nation of special language is restrict repertoire of word and expressions selected from the whole language because that restrict repertoire cover every requirement within a well-defined context and qualification. Sedangkan di sisi lain tujuan khusus untuk mengacu pada tujuan pembelajaran bahasa bukan sifat bahasa yang mereka pelajari menurut Nicky dan Mumford pada 1978. Konsekuensinya fokus kata khusus dalam ESP seharusnya pada tujuan yang dipelajari pembelajar dan bukan pada jargon atau register khusus yang mereka pelajari.
Okay, that's all about our materials, the definition of the ESP, and thank you for your time to watching this video. And then thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.